Shalom. Welcome to GMS Ghettos on the Streets. Want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, whom I worship. Double honor to the elder apostle, the great millstone, who taught me the word. Today's topic is going to be on this article here. This is just a quick show on this article I seen on RT News. RT always has some juicy articles, you know. So the name of this article reads, Russian nukes would cause overwhelming damage to any potential enemy, Moscow. Now, there's been a whole lot of talk of nukes and the nations preparing their nukes and testing them out, or not testing their nukes out, but they've been testing out the range of their non-nuclear ballistic missiles, you know, like North Korea, and and different nations are paying attention more to their nuclear programs, man, because the tensions are high as far as war is concerned, you know. So this is the days we're living in, you know. This last war could break out at any time, man. It could go from a drill, a multinational war, army drill, to an all-out war, you know. So these are the days we're living in. You know, things are very. If Yahweh Shai said that things were close back then, and the other many prophets have said 2,000 years, 2,000, 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago that the end was near. How much nearer are we now? That's the thing. So this thing could break out at any time, man. You know, there's been a lot of escalated violence going on in different places, church shootings, bombings. I think earlier, I think it was yesterday. I believe it was someone shot a missile. I think it was in Saudi Arabia or something like that. I forget. Shut off some missiles, ballistic missiles, non-nuclear ballistic missiles, in like a major airport or something. They were trying to blame the Iranians for it. So there's a lot of tension, a lot of stuff happening, going on, you know. And these are the rumors of wars that Yahweh Shai spoke of, you know. So we got to keep our eyes on it, not only on war, but more catastrophic earthquakes, you know. Volcanoes that have been dormant for thousands of years are gonna start erupting, you know, stuff like that, you know, like Mount Vesuvius. There was an earthquake that I believe it was after that eclipse, after that solar eclipse that happened a couple of months back. Like a couple of days after, there was a earthquake over there by Mount Vesuvius, right? The Pompeii region, and you can read that story on what happened back then, when the people of Pompeii got burned up and died of volcanic ash. All right, during that time when Mount Vesuvius erupted. You know, these things are gonna happen because the Lord said. Also, I heard about some kind of bubonic plague that is spreading throughout Africa. the Black Death. These things are being released by Esau, all right? They have these things in laboratories, okay? So, keep a lookout for diseases, plagues spreading throughout entire countries, man, or cities, major cities. And they're gonna have to quarantine a city off so that the disease don't spread, so that they can try to contain it. These things are signs of the end, right? So anyway, going back to this article here, it says Russian nukes would cause overwhelming damage to any potential enemy, Moscow. And you know who's the first enemy they got in mind? The United States. Right? It says Russia's nuclear deterrence is strong enough to ensure a level of overwhelming damage to any potential aggressor, the chief of the general staff has said. All right, the chief of the Russian general staff, all right, has said. It says, reporting on the state of the Russian strategic nuclear forces on Tuesday. It says General Valery Gerasimov said some 74% of the arsenal employed cutting-edge technology. That means GPS tracking and all that stuff, Cutting edge, state of the art. All right. It says today the strategic nuclear forces are capable to inflict a guaranteed level of overwhelming damage to any aggressor, including those. It says including those possessing anti-ballistic missile defense. He said, Gerasimov added that Russia was working on improving the arsenal in ways that did not violate the country's international obligations on proliferation and arms reduction. Now, you can read more. You go to this article, read more. I'm driving, so can't be, driving and reading this at the same damn time. But yeah, man. But that's pretty much Russia boasting in their nuclear weapons program, man. And yes, they will be successful. Why? Because the scripture says so. Okay. All right. Yeah, Russia, along with many other countries, they're gonna shoot their missiles here at America, and they will be successful according to prophecy. All right. So now I'm gonna read one scripture here, Revelation the 20th chapter, and starting about the let's start at the fifth verse. right? It reads, but the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection that was talking about the other nations after Esau. Let's read above that, right? I mean, the whole chapter is good. Let's start at 4 though. It says, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image. Yeah, they didn't take the. It's talking about the elect of the Heavenly Father of the nation of Israel. They were beheaded. They were killed for the word of the Lord. You know, that happened back then, and that's gonna happen now. You know, certain brothers will be put to death, and then for the name of Yahushua, and we didn't bow down to the Lord's image. I mean, it's like if that was a slip of the tongue. They bow down to Satan's image. All right. We didn't bow down to the beast. We didn't take that RFID chip. We didn't take that RFID chip, man. All right. So read it on. It says neither have received his mark upon their foreheads, right? The RFID chip, or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahushua a 1,000 years. Okay? It says, but the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. That's talking about the other nations, because when you read above that, it tells you about that it tell you about it tell you about the devil that was bound. You know, he was bound for 1,000 years, released, started deceiving the nations, right? That's talking about Esau, the so-called white man, beginning with the so-called Jews. You know, they're the ones that got total power and everything. And then they were destroyed by Yahushua, right? And then the other nations lived again after that period, meaning that the other nations they were given their possessions that the Lord had given them from way back when, from the beginning. Okay, they were given their inheritances, okay. Let's see here. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection, meaning the elect. Blessed are they, the elect of the nation of Israel, that don't take part of this fire, this nuclear destruction that's about to come. Blessed are they, the ones who, when Yahushua come with the thousands and thousands and thousands of angels in the chariots, right? Blessed are they when they are delivered and taken up before that fire hits, you know? Right? So it says, blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death hath no power. Right? The second death is the second global destruction. The first was by way of water during the time of Noah, right? Mosai inundated the earth, the whole entire earth, until the waters reached, it said, 15 cubits above the highest mountain. Okay? So that's a lot of water. It said that the Lord opened up the floodgates of heaven, man. Waters from outer space was pouring into this on this earth, man, back then. All right. Yes, that was a hell of a destruction, man. And only 8 souls survived. And there's a lot of nations that got an account of that story. You know, there's maybe a little twisted up. Not it's not like quite like how the Bible explains it, but they got a story of a man who was delivered from a great flood. You know. Yeah, I believe it was the Legend of Gilgamesh or something like that. You know. All right, so let's read on. It says and when the 1,000 years were expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, right? Because Satan and the devil, and it's the same thing. It's talking about the so-called white man, all right? A nation of people here on earth, so-called white men known as the Edomites. They were put down during the so-called Dark Ages, man, for a period of 1,000 years. You know, they were put down, and Jake was ruling. All right, we were ruling the so-called known world, so to speak, in Europe. You know, our people were the kings and the knights that you spoke of. I mean, that you heard of, Slakin. And those devils were put back in their place, man, and you know, they were put back in that caveman state, okay, for a period of 1,000 years, and then around I don't know, the 14th century, they came back into power as the Turks, but mainly as the Spanish Empire. And then they began to rule and started to deceive the nations again. All right. They're still in power right now. They're still ruling, but their rule's about to end, about to finish. Right. And it says, and when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. That's talking about like the 14th century. You know, around 13, 20, 25. AD, around that period. All right, it says, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the 4 quarters of the earth, God, and that's especially talking about the so-called Jews. They're the ones that finance the majority of deceptive programs from way back then, right? And shall go out to deceive and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the 4 quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog. And this is why I brought this out, because Gog and Magog is talking about the Russians. All right, it's talking about the Russians because the ancient name of the land where the Russian Federation are now was known as Gog and Magog. All right. It says to gather them together to battle. This is talking about the last battle, the World War III. World War III, right? It says the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. saying that Russia, and along with their allies, they're going to be as the sands of the sea, meaning many troops and army personnel. All right. It says, and they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints. That's talking about the Russians, their military, along with their allies, they're gonna go into the land of Israel, our land, to attack it. We're not there. The so-called Jews are there, so they're gonna destroy those so-called Jews. So the land of Israel too also is gonna get hit with nuclear missiles, with nuclear bombs, man, and it's gonna be obliterated from off the face of the earth as well. All right. That says, and they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about, and the beloved city. And fire came down from the Most High out of heaven and devoured them. That's talking about the nuclear missiles. St. John saw this battle, see, in the spirit. The Lord opened his eyes and he saw it. All right. It was almost as if the Lord took St. John, and put him right there, man. So he saw the missiles coming down out of the sky. So that's the way he described it. He said, fire came down from the Most High out of heaven. That's what it looked like to him. These missiles just dropping from the sky, man. You know, and it was causing fire when they hit. It caused fire, right? It says, and devoured them, meaning those missiles came and devoured all the militaries that were fighting. All right. Mainly, the fire came down and it devoured the land of Israel. But also, those missiles went out and got shot out over here to the Western Hemisphere and hit the United States, the continent known as America, and burned it up 100%. All right, and it says, verse 10, and the devil, the so-called white man Esau, and you can read it like that too. And Esau and the Edomites that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone. The lake of fire and brimstone is talking about over here in America, because over 200 million missiles are going to get shot. It's going to cause America to look like a sea of fire, a great lake of fire. All right. And it says, and Esau, the Edomites that deceived them, was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are. Yeah, the beast, NATO, that whole system that they had, America, the RFID chip, the false prophet is talking about the Roman Catholic Church, all these religions, man, you know, that Esau has set up, and their pastors that preach for them, like that dude, the apostle, what's his name, Apostle Peter Jennings or something like that. Yeah, he's gonna be in that fire, man. You know, phony Israelites that were proclaiming to have the word of the Lord. They did it. They were lying and deceiving the people. They are part of that false prophet too. All right, and it says, and Esau, the Edomites that deceived them, was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and
voy para allá ahora más, que estoy, se me cogió un poquito tarde, pero voy para casa ahora.
Ok, ya van a ser las 7, mijo.
I know.
Ok,
Ok, bendición.
buen día, bye.
Bye. Right, and it says, and the devil that deceived them, which is a so-called white man, was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. It's not talking about hell, the place of hell where you go to burn, Hades or Sheol. Okay, actually, if you, when you read Sheol, that means the grave. Okay. But the religions like to use the word Hades, and that comes from the Greek mythology of Hades, right? It's not talking about a place in the earth, man, where your soul burns forever and ever, man. That's talking about the thermonuclear fire that's gonna hit, and because of the radiation and the winds, it's gonna cause it to burn for a very long time, okay? But not forever and ever and ever, all right? And the wicked, they're gonna burn in it, but not forever, never, never, man. Once they burn, they burn. That's it. It's over, you know. But what the Lord could do is cause their spirit to stay in their body as they're being burned, you know, so they could feel that pain, man. You know, as a punishment for their evils, man, for their wickedness, you know. All right, and it says, and I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it. That's Yahweh, right? The Father, right? And him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and heaven fled away, because it's talking like I think Isaiah 34. When the nuclear missiles hit, they caused like a mushroom cloud, you know. The explosion causes a mushroom cloud, so it seems like the earth and the heaven, it seems like the earth and heaven is fleeing away, right? And it says, and there was found no place for them, right? In other words, there was no more Edomites, no more of the wicked. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before the Most High, and the books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life, and the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. It's not talking about actual books, man. It's talking about the prophecy that's written. All right, but anyway, with that, I just wanted to bring that out, close that out there, and you know, if you're not subscribed to this channel, to subscribe, hit the bell so that each time I put up a video, you are alerted that I put up a new video, and you know, and leave your comments below. And with that, this is Elder Soccer Run, GMS New York Camp, signing off. Shalom.